because
their mind,
this.
it has some kind of value to them.
But do
Right.
they actually use it or reuse it? Or
Never.
Never.
But they have the
this-
intention.
They have the intention, but they actually don't go through with it.
Right. So oftentimes I'll say, well, tell me the purpose and your intention, and my team is going to step on your coattails and make it happen for you. So if you want these bags because the city doesn't, give them out anymore and you want them for groceries, I'm going to make sure that you have a place for them and a home for them, and you can do that. We're not going to have 80,000. We're going to have 20.
So let's talk results, okay? So
Yeah.
let's say you've cleaned a hoarder's place up and now it's livable.
Right.
Does it last that long? Does it last? Have you ever stopped someone from being a hoarder?
Yeah, well, so a particular lady that I was just talking to before, so she called me 5 years ago, and without treatment, it's very difficult because it's psychological.
Right. But with treatment, you have a better chance.
You have absolutely a better chance. And if your family has a very full home and it's still functional, you can still walk around, there's maybe a small area you can eat on, definitely having a home and a place and getting organized is doable. And any of those shows that you see, which I get so angry when I see them, because for the before and after in the 30-minute show, they'll show one room that's done. So either for television, they'll either put it in the garage, or I just don't think it's authentic. And they don't get the results because in order to help a hoarder or someone who's very disorganized, your whole space has to be done. You can't leave the basement or the garage. You have to have a home and a place and a purpose for everything. And then
Okay.
it makes sense.
So they're just giving you a taste
They're
of
giving you a
what the
taste.
hoarder's life is about. I
Yeah,
guess.
And
let
you-
them come to work with me
Right.
for a week and see.
And so once you've done your thing, though, have you actually seen somebody who went from a hoarder to being organized and functional?
100%. And I'll see them years later, and
it's still that way.
It's still that way, and they embrace me, tell me I've saved their life. It's
And you
really,
probably have.
Yeah, it's a tremendous
So
accomplishment for
can
them.
I ask you one other thing, which
Yeah.
is I'm really curious. You are a professional organizer by profession,
Yes.
right? By trade, and you obviously chose this path.
Yes.
There's many organizers out there that focus on different things. Why did you choose to focus on hoarding? What was it about hoarding that made you go into it? Did you have an experience with it yourself, or someone in your family? Like what?
I think I fell into it. Somehow I attract it. People find me from all over. I was not born organized. I had clothes on my floor growing up. I had the door that was closed that my mother said, keep your door closed. I don't want the cleaning lady seeing your room. I was messy, absolutely. I had a shift in my life that I became organized and, figured out my stuff. And I can understand and relate without judgment to my clients, which
Okay,
helps.
so there's your answer right there.
Yeah.
So you are a natural affinity to this.
Yes.
Okay, but you probably weren't a hoarder per se.
No, I wasn't a hoarder, but I can understand having more than you need, for sure, and having excess.
And in your experience, just before we close out, have you seen the issue of hoarding destroy people or destroy their relationships?
Destroys their relationships, they lose their homes. It is such a horrible thing to have no dignity, to actually wake up in the morning and, like I say, all I want to give them is a place where they can have a cup of coffee in the morning and find their socks and underwear and start their day. The very simple things of life.
Well, I think what you're doing is pretty amazing. Like I said before, I don't know that anyone, like a lot of people, could do what you do and tolerate it. We need to know how to find you.
Well,
So-
people can call me at 416-665-2165 or my website, which is www.organizedwithadzone.com, or email me at info@organizedzone.com.
Okay, and also I want to bring out one other point, which is, can somebody else call you on behalf of a hoarder, like a family member? You mentioned that the building might be calling, or the health inspection. You hope it doesn't come to that. Can somebody else do it, or do you think it has to be the hoarder themselves?
I have many loving family members and friends call me on behalf of someone who's in trouble, who's a hoarder. But and I help them. But of course, it's always best to come from them, because they have to want it, they have to accept it, they have to have that initial trust with me to know that I'm there to help them, and they don't have to be fearful of that.
Okay. And is this all you do, though? Is this primarily what you do, or you do other organized services?
We help people in transition and help them get rid of their excess stuff. So people who are moving, which is the other part of our business, so we pack them up, we stage their home, we move them and unpack them in one day, or if they're renovating, we again pack them. It's always a big job. Everybody hates to do it. If people just have a whole cluttered home, they're not hoarders. We revamp the space for families, and it really makes a huge difference in their lives.
Wow, that's amazing. Do you have anything on that?
No, that sounds like great work. OrganizedZone.com.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty
Organized Zone
amazing
Inc., right?
Yes.
to learn about that.
Well, thank you so much for being here today
My
and
pleasure.
for sharing this. I think it's a very important issue. It's affecting a lot of the population, as you pointed out. And I look forward to seeing some more of your work. That would be great. And thanks for being with us today. I think